Hello, my name is Alton Walker, setting the pace for altonwalker.com. Today I'm with a very, very good friend of mine that I've known for over, several years actually, in fact. We've met each other at several different events, cultural events, business events, and it's only just from since the other day that we've actually got back into contact with each other, probably say over the last 8 to 9 months or so. And the person I'm with, her name is Hafsa Mohammed. Thank you very much for taking the time out to, so I can conduct this interview with you, because I'm very, very interested and want, of the people that's listening to find out what it is that you're actually doing. So yeah, welcome again, Hafsa Mohammed, and can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to over the last few years? Just introduce yourself to everyone to let them know who you are.
I'm Hafsa Mohammed. I'm a professional interpreter and a translator. Also, I'm a network marketer because I'm with Success University. And these areas are really, it's really what I need, and this is what I am. When I say this is what I'm interpreting, in the case of interpreting, as an interpreter and translator, language, you have to translate into language, two languages at a time. Sometimes with the interpreting, you are interpreting consecutively or simultaneously. Simultaneous is you need a bit of, what do I say? It's hard.
Right.
So you need a lot of practice, constantly, updating your skills.
Right.
And it takes time, but with practice, you make it perfect.
Right.
And what I love about is that language evolves. I'm not learning more of the Hausa, which is what I interpret.
Oh, right, so it's Hausa is the actual language.
Hausa is the actual language. It's spoken in Nigeria, West Africa, and Sudan, Egypt. And the northern part of Nigeria is where I come from.
Right.
It's dominantly Hausa speaking people. But you get in other parts as well people who speak the language as a second language. So
and how long have you actually been doing the translating professionally?
Translating professionally about maybe 11, 12 years.
Yeah, but that is actually your first language,
right? That is
my
first language.
Okay,
English
as well.
Yeah. So interpreting, I started interpreting about 3-4 years ago. Though with the translation I was interpreting, but not really. Full interpretation as I am now doing, because it's more of translation than interpreting. But 3-4 years ago I started the interpreting, combining the two. And I find that interest because I'm learning all the time. Constantly online, and with the terms, like when you have to interpret, you come across so many terms that you don't know, you have to go and look for, which is very interesting because
so it's not just only the language itself that you speak, there's actually skills that you need
to learn as well to be able to do your work.
And
there's courses which you have to do for your continuous professional development, which I do all the time. And then when you have to interpret, like when you have to go to a center, like a medical center, and there's a patient that you need, who doesn't speak English. So you need to know how to do, but how do you do it? By learning the medical terms, by taking courses, and taking the exams. So because I have to know the medical terms. If I'm at a court, I have to know the legal terms.
Right. So it's not just like say for the medical field or say the field of law. It's various different. Different
to know that.
So it's many different professional organizations that you have to interpret for.
I have to so many different organizations, and with that you have to keep learning, because you can't just turn up and you've given some, some words to translate or to interpret. Someone will, you might, the client you interpreted would say some words, and you have to have your own dictionary as well to know what that is.
And I can tell by that since I've known you, you've always been a person that's very outgoing, very very focused on what you're doing. And every time I see you, you're always excited. You've got this abundance of energy. I don't know where it comes from because you're so tiny, but it's a huge amount of energy, a massive personality, and you always seem very passionate about what you do.
People say that, where does all that energy come from? But I think it's just in me. It's just inborn. Because my grandmothers, they're all like that, They died when they are about 2. My final grandmother, and they died when they are about over 100. But they are always
over
on their
100.
feet. Over 100.
Wow.
But they are always on their feet.
Wow.
They are always on their feet.
That's a very long time.
And my grandmother, she